What's up, everybody? It is I, Sigma, and we are back with episode 38 of the BBET GamesCast. I am joined by Blue Bones.
What's going on, yo? It's your boy.
As well as Mr. Gamer.
Hello there.
Jeff is out today, has some stuff to take care of, but as we always do, we're going to get started with what we've been playing. Does anyone want to go first?
I think Blue should.
Oh, you want me to go first? Okay, so, a lot of people say, yeah, you're always in your comfort zone, blah, 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 blah. All right, so I stepped out, but not in the way.
I guess it got to him.
It got to me a little bit, you know what I'm saying? That's why we do these talks, and that's why I trust y'all, and that's why we're friends. So, look in your chats. I just sent you guys a picture. I started playing NBA 2K20.
Oh, awesome.
Boy!
That's actually dope. Look at this. Look, this is gonna go in the actual video for you guys to see. But this dude legit put his face in the game.
So it was really cool because first of all, if you're a Xbox Game Pass subscriber, you get this game. It's included with Game Pass.
Right, yeah, that just hit.
I downloaded it. Now there's a phone app, and I had to sit there with my lights and everything like that, and you actually scan your face. That wasn't me like tweaking everything. Right. I scanned my face, and then boom, that's what.
They've been doing that exact thing where you either you take a picture and you upload it to the 2K servers or whatnot forever, and it always came out looking like hot trash.
Not this time.
Yeah, this actually looks just like you.
Actually looks like me, and it was kind of scary. I was going through it. It was so funny, bro.
I gotta say that's the only difference is the basketball player's head is just a little thinner.
Exactly.
That's it. But everything else is really
dead on. That's impressive.
Yeah. Wow.
So, when this first dropped, and I think I mentioned it once on the podcast, but when they first started showing trailers about this, I was like, yo, this story mode actually looks good. Like there's some really good voice acting, mocap, and there's an actual story to it. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm good at NBA 2K20. I have a lot to learn. I'm still trying to get through the first battle. See, that's how much of a
that is a stretch.
But the first game, I'm still trying to, get the hang of it because they don't give you any kind of tutorial. They're like, and play. That's how.
Because by this point, I guess they're really not catering to brand new players, huh?
Yeah, so that was not fun about it so far. So I'm kind of going back doing some research, trying to get my legs on the sports gaming side. So if you guys play 2K20, you guys got some tips for me. Let me know. But I've been doing that.
That's really cool because I've very much liked sports and specifically like basketball and football video games in the past. It's just they've been so iterative for so long that I just completely.
So yeah, I decided let's give it another shot. Let's see what it's like, and I like it so far. There's a lot that goes into it. One thing, I'm always trying to put myself in the game. You know me, I love customization, right?
Right.
But I was going through the heights, right? Now, if y'all don't know, right, I know I look like I'm about 6'3", 6'4", right? But I'm actually 5'7". And so I was like, okay, let me make the shortest player possible. This boy was 6 foot tall, and I was like,
that's the shortest, right?
That's the shortest dude.
The NBA is so discriminatory against the short.
Wow.
So there's no more Gary Paytons left in the NBA.
No Muggsy Bones.
But one thing I did notice, and it was a little bothersome, is when I was, just tweaking the last little things of my character, because you do the face scan and then maybe you want to change up your hairstyle and whatever you want to do right after that. But I was just going through to see the options that they had, and they had so many good
hair options,
black hair options.
Yes. Oh my God. I was just about to ask you that specifically because NBA games they just have all the hair, and it's because they're copying all the hair from real black people.
And so what frustrates me is that I'm like, okay, it can be done.
Yes.
We have the technology.
It exists. But time and time again, all these other games just ignore it entirely.
Not care. Why do these other games not care as much as NBA 2K20 does.
And honestly, it's like NBA 2K20. They kind of are doing it by accident. Like, these players are in the game. That was EA's old motto. Remember, if it's in the game, it's in the game. These are the it's what black people today's hair looks like. So it has to be in there because that's what those guys look like.
So it's just like, why can't we get that on any other genre?
It really doesn't make any sense. Like,
it's sad.
Just copy them.
Like we're
you copy everything else. They copy everything
hair.
else. And it's not even like, you know how technology struggles so hard to get like flowing hair physics? Like, it's like a pain in the neck for game developers. Black people hair stays still. It's so much easier. It's so much easier.
Don't just give us a sponge. Don't just make us bald, and don't just give us this weird mohawk with the line in the side of it, like, or some weird cornrows. Like those are the 4 options we normally get.
Got your creative character look like a Tyler Perry movie.
Oh no! Please no.
Like, just do it right. Copy NBA 2K. But that's good. I'm glad to see you play that. I might hop on it if you end up liking it some because I've fallen away. Even I have gone back to try it a little bit, like one of the more recent demos, and it feels way too animation heavy. Like you'll like press a button to like take a shot, and then the guy does like a 2-second run up and then lay up animation. It's like you're not in control of any of that. That's all just pre-canned.
So the cool thing about 2K20 that I'm learning as I'm learning the game is that it's actually very nuanced with all the movements that your character does. And not just that, like if you call for the ball, like you guys got it, you call for it, and your teammates are like, nah, I don't want to pass it to you. They actually rank on like your teamwork. So there's a little button that says, or not a button, a notification that says like call, pass, ignored. And then your score goes down.
Wow.
So like your performance score goes down. So because your teammates don't trust you. You know what I mean?
Is that part of like regular games, or is that like the story mode?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I know that's in the story mode, and I like that element of it because it makes me think more about just spamming buttons. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So, man, there's so much that goes into the game. Every time I turn it on, I'm just like learning more and more. Now, first of all, I gotta say this too. The soundtrack is amazing. Before I started playing, I just loaded it up, and I was like, okay, like I normally play my Spotify playlist and stuff like that, but this music was really good. I shut it off, and then I was cleaning up the house, and the demo mode went on, and it sounded like I was watching a real basketball game. So I was like, I might just have this on in the background anyway.
EA has always been really good with soundtracks in games.
Their sound design is phenomenal.
There are a bunch of actual like music artists that I found thanks to just playing EA games. Like Need for Speed, for example, is a really good one. Yeah, I found a ton of artists just driving around in Need for Speed games. Yeah.
So I'm pleasantly surprised. I haven't gotten too deep into the game yet, but I'm learning more about it, and you're definitely gonna see me play it over the next couple weeks. I want to stream it, but I also don't want to get embarrassed. You know what I mean? Because it's definitely been out for a minute, and people know how to play. So we'll see. I might stream it with the title "Super Casual, Don't Hate Me." You know what I mean?
Yeah, let me know when you're streaming it. Like, we've got a lot of free time in recent weeks. Maybe I'll download it, and then we can just play a game against each other as noobs.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Like I'm really. Oh, another thing I was gonna say, I'm really interested about the story mode because 2 of my favorite podcasters. I haven't listened to them too much recently because I got a lot of work to do. But Jesus and Mero, they're in it too. And I saw they have it's cool. They have like weekly videos that they put out for 2K20, and they were talking about the mocap experience with those guys. So yeah, I'm looking to see my characters rise to the NBA. Hopefully, if you can get out of college.
Gotta take them tests. Pass them classes.
Other than that, I've been working with. I'm on Final Fantasy 14, right? So I think I talked to you guys about the Cocoa Butter group on Facebook, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, the Black Final Fantasy 14 players. So there's a post that went out, and a lot of people were talking, and they're saying, okay, look, let's gather up all the free company leaders. And so we have a chat, the kings and queens of Cocoa Butter. Anyway, from all of the servers, we've all made an alternate account on one server, and we kind of have like a UN, and it's all the leaders getting together, and we're gonna plan some big group events and just group pictures.
So it's
and
a
stuff.
Final Fantasy Black Caucus.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a lot of fun.
That actually sounds really cool.
It's super cool. That's what I love about Final Fantasy is that we can have these like social online meetups, and they look pretty good. People put up these screenshots on Instagram and Facebook and all that fun stuff, and it's cool to see all these people of color coming together for something good and fun, something that we love. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
So
I'd be interested to hear more about the goings on of the FF Black Caucus.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely let y'all know any of the big events that's coming down. You guys the screenshots and stuff. It's a lot of fun.
That's dope.
It's good stuff. Yeah.
So does that do it for your gaming week?
Overwatch. Now, obviously, I'm playing Overwatch all the time. Yes, but the archive event dropped, and I love every skin that's in.
Oh, right, yeah. There's a lot of cool new skins in that.
Especially Symmetra's Holly skin. Now, the Holly Festival is where they throw that really bright powder. And I don't know the origins of the festival itself, but I do know that it looks gorgeous, looks beautiful, and they did that for Symmetra's skin. And I love how her face is a lot more covered than the rest of her body, just like she was walking through that festival. So the attention to detail that Blizzard did was great with this one. And obviously, a lot of people love the Farah Maverick looking one.
Yeah, I actually really like that one.
Top Gun, yeah. And I think they did a great job with all the skins this time around. And they added another layer of difficulty to the archive missions. So
not that it needed it. All right, cool. Gamer, what about you? What you been playing?
All right, so I have been playing Ring Fit Adventure.
I remember you telling me that you got it, but I never asked, how was it?
Yes, I've actually been getting back into that. I have that. Where
were you looking for the ring?
No. Just like there's like little things to like keep me somewhat active while I'm just like sitting here in my chair.
Right.
And Ring Fit Adventure is no joke.
Really?
Seriously, because it's a full body thing. So think about when you go to the gym typically and you're on the treadmill. You're basically just really using your legs. You have your hands there and you just basically walk or you run or whatever the case may be, right? So with Ring Fit, you are, first of all, you're standing and then you're jogging and you're still holding your ring. So you're actually holding something up. And then you will have to push wind to make a door open while you're jogging. So you're moving like this and then doing this, or sometimes you need to do this, or sometimes you need to do this and this. So like you're always doing some sort of movement.
Right.
Now, so, real quick, I just want to encourage all our listeners to go to YouTube and watch what this is.
Because the ring has like resistance on it, right? Like,
correct.
Okay.
And it will let you during the calibration, it will detect how strong you are. So it's like, oh, okay, so you need to give it a lot of pressure because I'm a bit beefy, just a bit beefy.
He's not 5'7", y'all.
Yeah, I'm 6'5".
Yeah.
So it was just a whole lot, and it's like the faster you jog, the faster you can get through the level. So you can take it at your own pace, but if you do, more things are gonna come at you. You're gonna have more to do, or you can run through it faster, which obviously just makes you so tired.
So it's like
you're working out,
right? Yeah, it's like they're forcing you to pick what it is. I guess that you're more comfortable with. So like you're saying, I don't want to do all these other exercises. Let me run faster. You're still working out, or it's like, I don't want to run so fast. But then they make you do
right. But like throughout all of that, you're getting so much workout in your upper and lower body. On top of my co-host also has this, so we can do little competitions of like, hey, I did this many pulls or this many pushes in this amount of time. Show me what you can do. Like, I was not thinking, let me, compete in some sort of fitness test, but it's like, it's just on the Switch. It's easy. It and it's just fun. So I've been playing that. Definitely been playing a whole lot of that.
So how's it making you feel? Like at the end of your play sessions, are you feeling like healthier or like more energetic or
are you sore at all?
Yeah.
So my arms actually get more of a workout than anything, just because I have to like I'm not kidding you guys. Like, you have to do this. Trying to, like, please, people, watch the YouTube, because my words are not doing this justice. You have to take the ring and like really push it in to get the air so that you can open the door. Or sometimes you have to do a jump, so you have to put the ring down, jump, and then do this. Like,
so it's like you're like pushing yourself to fly. Right? Yeah. He definitely looks like a panicked bird.
But at the end of it, I'm sore, but I'm happy, and I did something. Like, that's the thing. And like, you could do it within the comfort of your own home. You ain't got to go outside, and with the coronavirus being what it is, not a lot of people want to go outside anyway.
Yeah,
I'm legit ready to go to the gym. Because people be sweating and not, wiping up after themselves and stuff like that. I got to wipe down first and then wipe down after. And I also got to go to the gym. But,
right. So
it's still not encouraging.
So second game has been Final Fantasy 14.
Yes.
I've been definitely getting into more of that. I am realizing just how much more there is to this than just, combat. Like, the free company that I'm in with Blue, everyone has casual outfits, and I'm like, what do you mean a casual outfit? I mean, I have my armor, like that's what I wear. And then like, I'm watching Blue's character change outfits like back and forth, like, okay, what's going on? And then he comes and tells me, oh no, don't worry, we'll get you set up later. And I'm like, I'm just trying to get to level 30 on my archer, and you guys are talking about, oh, get you a casual outfit because, or like, hey, like, and I'm not used to like, oh, hey, gamer, like, do this pose and get together over here. So we tried to take a picture, and I'm like adjusting my character with my basic level of emotes, like wave, bow. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I have seen the pictures that they've posted, and it's fantastic. And the final game that I've been playing a whole lot of is actually Enter the Gungeon.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I've seen you.
So I know you were streaming that for a while.
Yeah. So I own it on PC and Switch and Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
I have gotten the farthest item unlocks on my Switch, but on the Xbox, I've killed 2 of the party members' pasts, and I'm always like, Blue has his games where it's like Final Fantasy customization, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is roguelikes. I can play. And have any of you familiar with Binding of Isaac?
Yeah. I've never played it, but I've read a lot about it because I had to review the sequel to it, The Legend of Bumbo.
Ah, yes, which is amazing. But I would say, like, that's just kind of been the thing that's been really absorbing me, is that roguelike. Blue often mentions, oh, I can play a game of Overwatch and it's different every single time. Well, this is like programmatically different every single time. And I really like that, because it's like, you can just have a bad run and it's just like, well, there goes that. Or you can have a fantastic run and it's just be that one little thing and you just like, boop, and then you're just done. So that's what I've been playing as of late.
I'm going to give you a suggestion when you're talking about roguelikes. It's on Game Pass, and I played it a while back. I did a little bit of streaming of it, but you might like it. It's called Wizard of Legend. And
right, I tried that out a bit too. Like, I really like the style of it.
The style is gorgeous. It's really simple. I love the intro too. It's kind of like, you go into a museum and you're hearing about all this magic and stuff like that, and then you get teleported to that magic world, and then you just start fighting. So it's like, but then the combinations that you can do with the different skills that you pick up, visually they're stunning, and then there's element weaknesses and stuff that you could switch out. It's really cool. And then obviously there's the random factor of
randomly generated dungeons and boss layouts and stuff like that. Like, It's pretty fun, and the mechanics are strong too. Like I like the combat in it.
The bosses are difficult. They're difficult. So yeah, definitely give that a shot. Wizard of Legend. It's pretty cool.
Boom. There we go.
Yeah, yay. So Sigma, what have you been gaming on?
I let you guys know this a little bit prior to us recording anything, but I've been tasked with reviewing the new State of Decay DLC, the Juggernaut edition they call it.
How is that?
It's not so much a like DLC drop as it is kind of a
revamp.
Yes, that's perfect word for it. Like they updated the visuals, they've changed a lot of like the on-screen prompts and menus. They kind of retooled the intro to the game. So like I picked up from where I left off when I was playing it previously, like back in 2018. But then I also started a brand new game on the PC, which can connect to the Xbox Live Service stuff. So even though I started a new game on PC, you guys can still join that game from like Xbox, which is kind of cool. I don't know if that was a thing before, but I don't think it was a thing before. I think it's just now coming to PC, to be honest.
Okay.
But there's a new bigger map. Well, I'm not sure if it's bigger, but it's more varied. Like there's more stuff, more differences, and it's just a new map that you can have, your zombie apocalypse fun on. And honestly, I'm enjoying it. Like I wasn't too hot on it originally, like back when we first played it in 2018.
Because back in 2018, our team streamed it.
Yeah.
Wow, we were having a lot of trouble with it.
Yeah, it was a little too janky. Like certain things just kind of wouldn't work well. They fixed a lot of that. It seems like the game just runs and behaves just far more smooth. But it doesn't fundamentally change anything about what you do in that game. It's the same game. So like don't expect to go in there and be like, oh, this is a brand new super immersive experience. Like if you liked what was there before, you're probably going to be very pleased with what it is now. And if you hate that type of game, it's not different. But for me, who just felt like it was a little undercooked, this kind of finishes it off. So I am liking it a lot more than I did beforehand. And I am going to be playing a lot more of it. They do this really cool thing where it's immersive storytelling. Like, you meet random characters, just like gamers talk about. It's a roguelike. Like, you start off with, random people. You can dress them up now into, like, certain outfits. So, like, if, say, my dude was, like, you start off with, like, maybe 4 people in your camp. And, like, one guy was, like, a soldier. One person was, like, a doctor.
Yeah.
If, in my head, I feel like, oh, well, this guy doesn't like the army. Like, he kind of resents them and stuff. I can change him out of his soldier clothes and, like, have him, like, behave differently. Or, like, this one chick who we found on the road, like, she's kind of, like, wild, she's mean. I put her in, like, a biker jacket. So, basically, she's basically, like, say again?
Is she cool now? Is she like the Fonz?
No, it's just she's hardened, she's a tough girl. I didn't say she was a greaser. It's a biker. It's a leather jacket. It just denotes her standoffish nature. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like you have your characters in your little story. You can dress them up. You can have them do certain things. Like you can pair up characters with other characters, and it's based on who's tired, or it can be based on who you think have chemistry with one another. Like 2 of my characters are supposedly best friends, but in my headcanon, the guy who wants to be the leader of the group, but I don't want him to be the leader, I paired him up with the nurse because I feel like they might want to, like, hang out together. Like, they seem to talk a lot. They seem to like each other, so they go out on excursions with one another.
Are you playing The Sims or are you playing State of Decay?
No, that's really what it is.
I was basically ask because I'm getting confused here.
That's really what it is. It's basically The Walking Dead Sims. So, like, you can really make up your own stories, and then, like, there's cool stuff that happens in the world to paint that picture. Like, other factions can rob you, you can run out of fuel, like, you can have, random attacks from hordes and stuff. Like, they throw a decent mix of things at you to kind of keep things interesting. But moment to moment, you're technically still just doing the same thing. You're making sure all your people are fed and that you have enough space and that you're clearing out plague hearts and trying to expand and just keep your society going while everything around you is trying to stop that from happening. So, not a bad time, to be honest.
Okay.
All right. So, one question. So, So what would you say to me, I have started it.
Mm-hmm.
I have it uploaded, so it's already to play. What would you tell me, someone who is interested in this, to get back into it?
Well, you have played it like previously, but you just now re-downloaded it.
Correct. I've had the game previously. I started working on it. I have like a few more people and a few more outposts, but I just kind of stopped.
I would say consider starting over, because
just starting over.
Yeah, because I spent a couple hours with my previous settlement, and I believe your previous save is going to be on that older map. So like the new stuff, it's not going to feel as new because you're going to be on that first map if you go back to your old save. So I say just start a new playthrough. They really streamlined the beginning of the game now. So like you go through that opening section, which I felt took a little too long the first go round, but you kind of cruise through that, and then they give you like 4 or 5 preliminary missions that basically tell you what are all the different things you can do in the game, and they're really straightforward. They're not super far away from like your starting position, so it really lets you know, okay, this is the stuff you'll be doing over the course of the game, and then once they kind of let go of you, then you can, make your own story and have your own fun. So I would say just start over.
So my question now is, when you're playing with other people,
Mm-hmm.
now before I remember, like if my story, let's say I was at 10% of my story, you guys jump in and help me out, I end up at 15. Whatever you guys did in my world didn't transfer over to your world.
Yeah, I think that's still the case. I don't think that's changed.
So
But you do still get like the stuff you find. I think you take back with you. Like that was always the case, if I remember correctly. I haven't actually had a lot of time testing the multiplayer yet. I was hoping to do some more of that throughout this week. But honestly, that's going to be where you get the most fun. Like I'm enjoying what they have there, but it's going to get tedious kind of doing the same things over and over again. If you really want to start having fun, then you get up to some shenanigans with your friends, and that's going to be the meat of that game experience.
Like GTA.
I was about to say shenanigans.
Pretty much.
Wait, this week.
Right, yeah, we played some more GTA. We had a lot more people, I think, or somewhat the same amount of people when we played GTA this past Friday.
Well, no, we ended up with we finished off the stream with 8 players, but we had like 1 or 2 in the
there were kind of extra people in the chat trying to jump in. We ended up playing what was the name of that game type?
It was an adversary type called Inch by Inch, which is basically GTA football.
Right, it was gun football. It's what the XFL wishes it was.
I'm saying this was fun, but we won every single time by a lot. So that doesn't mean that it was fun necessarily. It means that we won, right?
Look, I was on the losing side of that. Yeah. I still had a lot of fun. Like it was
fun.
It was very funny to like the way people were coordinating, the way people were like yelling at each other, like, "Oh, get the ball! Yeah. Oh, he's over there! He's sneaking by!" It was funny. It was really funny. Like random grenades blowing up like groups of people, like folks getting sniped from halfway across the football field. It was really funny.
It was really great.
Yeah, It as bad as it was to not be able to aim properly, I will say it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely gonna put in some more work over the week.
Yeah, there's so many of those adversary modes in GTA that are like gold, but it's such a headache to get them started.
And you know what? It's funny. What I wanted to have us do, and I lost it because there's a huge list of stuff you can do.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the ones I wanted to do was the Tron stuff with the light.
Right? Yeah, I played that when it first came out. That game type is actually very fun.
And I was trying to get to it, but it was one of those things where I think the one that I chose, it had 4 people max, and we had 8 or 9 people, and it was just oof. We'll get the hang of it though.
Yeah, we'll figure this out. Maybe next gen will solve the loading stuff, but we'll see what we can do in the meantime. But the last main thing I played this week was the brand new Call of Duty Warzone Battle Royale game.
Bro, I have it downloaded. I haven't touched it yet. How is it? Talk to me.
So I did not touch the previous version of this, the blackout mode from Call of Duty Black Ops.
Mm-hmm,
that was baked into the actual game purchase. this is basically breaking that out and making it free, just like Apex Legends, just like Fortnite, which was like the biggest hit to Blackout. I think is people didn't have access to it.
Right.
And honestly, I forgot how good it feels to shoot in Call of Duty. Like, it's been so long since I've played a proper Call of Duty game that like all these other games that have good shooting mechanics, you then feel like, oh, okay, so this is their version of Call of Duty style. Because Call of Duty just feels like it feels like you're the one there. Like, you just have so much control over what you're doing.
Okay.
Like, it's fast, it's snappy. They do this because I also picked up Rainbow Six Siege in the previous week, right? And one thing I really liked about that is the lean mechanic. Like, you can get next to a corner, you can lean and then kind of peek a little bit over the edge of it. In Call of Duty, they do it where you can mount your gun on a surface, and that surface can also be a wall. So if that wall to the left or the right of you, it actually gives you more cover, and it gives you better stability. So it makes more sense that this is how you would do it, and like you don't need different. It's like the control scheme for Call of Duty is masterful. Like, it makes so much sense why every other shooting game has essentially adopted Call of Duty's control scheme, because they just do it so well.
Intuitive.
Very much so. So in terms of the actual gameplay, I was playing with Superman Jeff as well as Night Shadow, one of our regular on stream players, and we were doing the battle royale stuff. Unfortunately, it's only 3 people. Like, they really are copying Apex, it seems like. But I'm not. I don't think I'm into the battle royale mode in Call of Duty. Like, people are just a little too good at the shooting in that game. Like, I just probably need to spend more time getting good again. But man, like, we really didn't stand a chance. Like, in Apex, for whatever reason, like, even early on, every now and then you end up near the end of the pack. At least I do, with whatever team I'm on. But Call of Duty, like, we were getting trashed. But luckily, there's a secondary mode called Plunder, and that is actually really fun.
And what's that?
Plunder.
Yeah, so instead of Battle Royale, it's a bunch of squads of 3, and you're picking up money. Like, instead of there's still like loot boxes where you're picking up guns and armor and whatnot, but there will also be boxes that just have tons of money. And like the Division, there are like heliports where helicopters come every so often, and if you can get your money to the helicopter pad, then you're adding to your bank, and whoever has the most bank at the end of the match type is the winner. But of course, so you can kill other players,
early, but still have a whole bunch of money and win the game, right?
Well, the thing is, you're trying to stack up money by getting it off those helicopters, but other people can kill you and take your money.
When they kill you, can you come back?
I mean, yeah, you constantly respawn.
Oh,
that's the thing. Yeah, so
that's different. Okay,
it is different, and like it's a lot more fun because, for one, like there's a lot more action going on. Like the helipads are hot zones of just firefights, like people parachuting back in. Like, it's craziness. It's wild. It's really, really fun. We played less matches of that than the Warzone thing, but I feel like that's probably where I would want to spend more of my time.
That sounds like a lot more fun.
Yeah, I had a ton of fun.
It sounds like I might be getting into that.
My anxiety with battle royales is like, I have one chance in this match.
And then you go back to the. But about that though, Call of Duty's battle royale mode does have a really cool respawn function. Okay. When you do die, you get thrown in the gulag, which is a prison.
Okay.
And other players who get thrown there, you can fist fight them. If you win the fist fight, you get put down in like a one-on-one gun battle with someone else who won a fist fight.
Okay.
So then you only have like a pistol and I think like one grenade, and you're like in like this kind of shower stall thing, and like whoever wins that one-on-one duel gets airdropped back into the fight to go back and join their team. What? Yeah, it's really cool. Like honestly, I like the fighting in the prison to respawn. Like it's harrowing, and it gives you a lot to do while the match is still going on outside in the regular world before you can join back up. So I thought that was actually a really cool respawn mechanic.
Okay. So yeah, that's definitely different. Yeah, like that before. It's funny. I talking of battle royales, and this short side story. Chips the Penguin, shout out. I got her and another friend into Apex. Well, I got them to download it, right? And I told them they're both noobs, and I'm not amazing at Apex, but I had been playing more than them at the time. So I was like, all right, so this is how we're gonna do it. We jump in the game and we win.
Be that way sometimes.
Yo, and it's not like we killed a whole bunch of people. I think I killed 3 people, but we just ended up being the last squad.
Yeah, like Apex just kind of gets you there more often.
Yeah. And so then she's like, so that's the game? And I was like, yeah. She's never played it since because she won once and she knows what it feels
like. She's
over
for nothing.
Yeah, like I think that's the worst experience you can have in a battle royale game is to win right off the bat.
Maybe. I mean, I remember we won some of our early Apex games.
But like
it was very fun.
First one, like she doesn't know the struggle getting that win. It was just like, oh, this is a nice little jog to the park and winner.
Yeah, that is
we're
weird.
The champion. Yep.
So I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, I'm gonna give. I like Plunder the way you're describing it. I think that's gonna be interesting. Definitely check it out. I have it downloaded. I just gotta play it. But, we got a lot of people talking about our backlogs. So
oh my god, yeah. And like brand new stuff just keeps coming and coming and coming.
Yeah,
but I wanted
not enough hours
at all. But I want to ask, like, what are your thoughts on Activision and Call of Duty kind of copying the Apex model? Because no one really knew that this was a thing. There were leaks about it the day before, and then they announced it and dropped it the same day. Free to play, cross play.
Yeah.
Like, is it? I have not actually been checking on like news or buzz about this. I feel like it's not at the same level as Apex for whatever reason.
But a lot of people, I remember one of my homeboys, he plays the latest Call of Duty on a regular basis. He called me when he finally got his hands on this Battle Royale mode, and he's like, bro, you got to play this right now, bro. Like, this game's the truth, bro. Like, you don't even understand, bro. Like, and then he was talking about, like some of the differences and how you start off with armor and you start off with a gun. So it doesn't look like you just came there not prepared. You know what I mean? You actually look like somebody who's there for a Battle Royale. And yeah, so I'm hearing a lot of positive reports, not just from him, but from some other folks too. And then you also have the people who just hate Call of Duty in general, saying that it's trash. So, one of those things, find out for yourself kind of deal, and try and be objective about it rather than stick to one loyalty.
You definitely try it. Like I feel like you guys may enjoy it, especially that plunder mode.
That plunder mode sounds a lot more appealing than the regular Battle Royale to me.
But the respawning, that sounds like
that
fun.
Respawning does sound like fun.
It is. It's fun as hell, to be honest. That whole sequence.
I'm just waiting for these cats to put up these private servers, man.
When is that coming?
I want a private server. Free for all Fridays. That's what I want. I want a Battle Royale for Free for all Fridays.
I would play that.
I think that'd be amazing.
Okay, but other than that, that's pretty much all I've been playing for this week. Blue.
Yeah.
You're gonna start us off with the week's recap of Super Smash Sunday.
Blues news. So, Super Smash Sunday, right? Started off, Jeff was killing it. Jeff and Sigma were kind of going back and forth at the beginning. Actually, Sigma was playing a really good Falco at the beginning of this, but then we got Venom. This guy coming in Venom.
Yeah, I think brand new to the stream.
I think he was brand new to the stream, or we've seen him like once before.
Perhaps.
But anyway, he played an impeccable Pac-Man. And the only way he got off the top of the hill was when he had to go. So no one actually defeated him. And then you had Mono, aka Thick Wisp. He came in with Joker, and he was winning a couple rounds with that. And by the end of the Super Smash Sundays, excuse me, oh my gosh. By the end of the Super Smash Sundays, you had Jeff on top again with Zelda, and he was really killing it. He's getting some momentum with that, and then Sigma ended up finishing off with Inkling.
Speaking of Jeff's Zelda, though, Jeff has actually been really improving. Like he and I were playing some matches kind of off to the side. Matter of fact, Gamer jumped in on some of them as well.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And Jeff was really asking me like, oh, what can I do? Like, what am I doing wrong? What do you see other Zelda players doing that I'm not doing or should be doing and stuff like that? So I was really trying to give him some insight into like maybe mixing up some of his approaches, this, that, and the third. And Jeff actually he basically beat my Toon Link in a game, wow. which is not
say basically
because I don't know how else to put it.
Did he win or not?
Jeff won, but it's a bad matchup for Toon Link in general. Like he already knows this. Like normally I wouldn't want to fight Jeff's Zelda with Toon Link. I would want to pick maybe Inkling or something that can get in faster on his character. But I was trying to train with him, so like he was going at my Toon Link, and he did get a win. So I know he was really excited about that.
Okay.
But Jeff and Gamer played a bunch of matches. I feel like Gamer's Little Mac. I can't remember who actually won when you guys fought with your Little Mac. But when you switched to Isabelle, Jeff was also able to beat you with Zelda.
Oh yeah, Jeff. So Jeff was able to run Isabelle down just because there aren't a whole lot of things that Isabelle can do, unfortunately, when off the stage. And that night, like just sitting there, and then I try to get up onto the stage, and then swoop, and then there goes Isabelle. My thing with Little Mac that I had was just basically just really taking advantage of Little Mac's super armor, because if the knight's going to come at me, well, I'm just going to forward smash and go through you. Yeah. But Nearu's love, that you just can't.
It's a very difficult move.
It's so difficult to get in. Like I couldn't even attempt a KO punch because the moment that he even thinks it's going to come out, boom, and then it's gone.
That's heavy. Yeah, I heard a lot of this came off the heels of our question last week.
True. Folks were questioning who was the best at Smash. I mean, Gamer did admit that my Toon Link was a problem. I don't want to try to I don't want to try to rub anything in anybody's face, but like I was trying to tell y'all, I'm really nice with that character.
This is the dude that be laughing in your face, yo. By the way,
there was a reason for that.
I don't want to laugh in your face.
There was a reason for that.
Here's what I want to do. I want us and Blue. I'm thinking about you when I make this statement.
Okay.
I want us all to get our lovely controllers, our non-Joy-Con controllers, and we just settle this in LAN.
In LAN.
Yeah, we just settle this in LAN.
I'm down.
Let's go. Yeah. Let's go.
We don't have to worry about any issues, no lag. Everyone will be using the exact same controller.
We'll make it happen. Maybe we'll make a trip to the East Coast and just make it happen.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, not anytime soon.
No. Oh yeah. No.
Yeah, can't nobody go nowhere right now.
Well, no.
The rest of what we got. Crazy week. Everybody knows it. Oh man.
Okay, so I mean that's our Smash Super Smash Sunday recap. We'll be playing later today, so join us for that and every week. But our first topic of the day, Blue, you brought this to our attention as well.
Bro,
some changes at Blizzard.
Yeah, man. Overwatch lead writer Michael Chiu leaves Blizzard, and that's a big deal, right? First of all, Overwatch. We love what little story we have right now. We love it, and like it's to the point where if you really think about it, we don't have a lot of story, and we want so much more because these characters are so interestingly built. But
and it looks so cool,
and it looks
they're
great,
just cool looking for the most part.
So the lead writer, Michael Chiu, he left Blizzard on Wednesday, and he had been working at Blizzard for over 20 years. And he's definitely, made a significant impact with them. Some of the other games he worked on, and I was like really impressed when I was doing my research. Some of my favorite games, including Diablo 3, World of Warcraft. Obviously, those are two huge Blizzard hitters, right? Mm-hmm. But then you got Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords. Legit one of my favorite games of all time. Okay? And then he also did some work on Overwatch 2. Now, this is the big question right now. Who's taking over Mr. Chiu's spot leading on into Overwatch 2? This is going to be really critical for the whole franchise.
Especially since 2 does seem to be trying to focus more on story, right?
Yeah. And so when your lead writer steps out right before the story is about to drop, it's a little scary. It's a little scary for fans to watch this. And on top of that, I kind of mentioned earlier, some people online were saying, are they dropping this archive event to kind of send them off with a bang because these are all the big stories that came out for Overwatch? Is it that, or is it just timing? What's going on with this? But either way, I think honestly it just coincidental timing, or he just finished his project and then he head out. But I don't think it's any bad omen him leaving right now. But it's really one of those, time will tell.
Well, I mean, is there any mention of what he's looking to do after this, or is he kind of out of the gaming industry altogether for now? All right, so he's just done.
There is no projection on where he's going, what he's doing next. He's just, hey, I had a good run, 20 years, I'm outie.
I mean, yeah, that is a good long time. Like, that's a career's worth, especially in an industry and in a position where he was probably, like, he probably doesn't need to do anything else after this.
Probably not. But he's to say the least, he's a through and through Blizzard fan, and he's made these franchises so much more enjoyable. So for that, we thank Michael Chiu. Thank you for your service to the gaming industry, and good luck on where you go from here.
What about you, Gamer? Any thoughts on?
Well, I had covered this on my podcast as well, and the thing that I was really looking for was, where would he go now?
Right.
I'm not too worried about what's going to be happening with Overwatch 2 because, yes, he was the lead writer, but we all know that even with big novels, there are ghost writers. There are other people who are assisting in the creation of it. What I would be more so interested in what he does next, because somebody else can continue to make Overwatch 2 amazing. I don't doubt that. But I want to know what else is he going to have his name on?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be like an independent thing? Like, those were the questions that I was getting, because it's like, I can't imagine that you just wake up one morning and it's like, okay, yeah, I think I'm done with this now.
I quit.
And just leave.
Yeah, especially in a position like that where like you're doing a thing you love, you've been doing it well for so long, like either a better offer has come along or you're basically disillusioned with the industry as a whole. And I don't know which one of those things.
I think there's a third option. I think the third option is he wants to leave on a high note.
I mean, I guess.
He's like, things are good. Things are about to change dramatically right now. I don't know if I got the mental capacity to keep up. I'm just going to sit back and let them do their thing.
Like, I've given them enough. I've written more than enough for them to carry this on. And
this next era, this next generation of consoles in general is just going to be something completely different. This is going to be a whole nother monster. And we'll talk a little bit more about that.
And let's not forget about the lumbering giant in the corner. Like, Google is still they're trying to build their own studios. They're buying up talent from other people. Like,
true.
Just recently they poached some lead guys from other studios for a new one that they're building, I think, which makes 2 for their first party stable. So like, they're kind of in need of more content, and they have the money to kind of just pull it.
I'm about to say they definitely got the money to poach some folks.
So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe another week or 2 from now we hear that Michael Chiu is now the lead writer on whatever is going on in Stadia.
Then maybe I'll be on playing Stadia more. Maybe.
Well, that's exactly why they would do such a thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, speaking of people, leaving, we all know Reggie Fils-Aimé, the ex-president of Nintendo of America.
Yeah.
Left Nintendo some time ago, retired from the industry. But Reggie's back. Reggie's now been added to the board of directors for GameStop, of all companies. The struggling retailer we talked about a ton of times on this podcast. Reggie is now going to be one of the people in charge of kind of directing their new direction.
The rebranding, yeah.
Right. Like, what do you guys think Reggie's influence will have any kind of significant impact on GameStop's future?
All right.
Go ahead, Gamer. What you got?
All right. So this was also something I covered on my podcast. At the point where Reggie is right now, me personally, I don't feel like the dirty reputation that GameStop have will tarnish him. I don't also, but with that, I'm not quite sure it's going to be like, oh, because we have this beautiful gem that is Reggie, GameStop will no longer be a piece of crap. Because I'm just going to be honest with you, GameStop has for a very long time just been a piece of crap. I remember Gears of War, get all these special pre-order bonuses, and I'll admit when I was young and stupid and using my parents' money, of course I wanted to always go after those pre-order bonuses, but now that I'm the one paying for them, it's like, yeah, this is kind of dumb. Or I bought a $60 game. It's like, okay, yeah, that was pretty cool. Return it. All right, we can give you 15 for it. Oh, okay. Turn my back, and then it's like, oh yeah, we're selling this game for 55. And and I mean there's that.
Like you slapped the label on it after you gave me 2 quarters. Like, bro.
Right? And not to mention, and I'm gonna try not to get on the soapbox, but used video games don't necessarily help the developers. So,
true.
There is that. There is that as well. I know that GameStop sold, well, they were accepting tablets and smartphones and selling those things too. So
they were selling all sorts of stuff to try to make ends meet.
And now, and I know we covered this. I don't know if I'm pretty sure we did, but how GameStop is trying to get into esports now, where they'll have a little place for you to test out your games. Do you guys know that there's been a retailer like GameStop that has already been doing this for years?
Nationwide?
Play and trade.
I've never heard of play and trade.
I've seen play and trades before, but they always feel like some mall shop. And I mean, I guess that's what GameStop is anyway.
Yeah,
but
but no.
But I feel like it's always like a local. Every time I look at it, it looks like a local spot that you're not going to see anywhere else.
It does give that vibe, but the idea of, oh, hey, you just bought this system, well, plug it in for a little bit, let's make sure that everything works, and then you go. Or, hey, you just bought this game, well, pop it in there, make sure that you like it. If you don't get it. Like, Play and Trade has been doing this for a while, and with Call of Duty copying Apex, if GameStop wants to copy Play and Trade, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, I mean, do we have any idea on how well Play and Trade is doing in the retail market right now? Because it's really the boon of digital purchases that's hurting GameStop the most, not their crappy business practices, which I agree are very crappy. But the thing that's really putting them under is people just not getting up and buying physical copies of games anymore.
I guess it's because we haven't heard anything about a Play and Trade or anything going down, or at least I haven't. I can only assume that they are doing well. Just doing a quick Google search, their stocks are doing this. So,
the stock market, we can't pay attention to that right now.
yeah. Unfortunately,
that's not going to tell us anything.
That was a bit painful, but I haven't had a bad experience at Play and Trade, and I've had several bad experiences at GameStop. So if Reggie can help rebrand GameStop into something that is significantly more inviting and perhaps a little bit better for the consumer, then I'm all for it.
Well, I think that's exactly what they're trying to do. Like, they've said as much, right? GameStop is like, oh, we're closing down a bunch of underperforming stores because they need the money, and they're going to focus on their bigger marquee stores and converting them into like a more social experience or built around gaming, like kind of like a lounge type thing is some of the ideas that have come out from what they want to do. But the thing is, we haven't really heard anything concrete about what they want to do just yet. Them adding Reggie to their board of directors, I feel like, may actually help give them some much needed direction, because at the end of the day, Reggie Fils-Aimé is a sales guy. Like, he's not a game developer. He's a sales guy. GameStop is all about sales and games. Reggie's kind of the perfect guy to be involved in this.
So, kind of, to both y'all's points, I, just like Gamer said, I don't think that GameStop's reputation is going to mess up Reggie at all. I don't know if Reggie's strong enough to pull up GameStop from the grave. That's how I feel. Now, I believe that he can do some good rebranding and reworking, and I feel like he's going to help them at least on the base level get what they want, just the basic rebranding, but it's going to really be up to the rest of the company to really and I should say the retailers and the people in the stores themselves to really sell this idea, because at the end of the day, if we don't want to leave the house, we're not going to leave the house. You know what I mean? You have to encourage us. This place has to be entertaining. This place has to be inviting. This GameStop has to be a place that you want to stop and game at. Real talk.
You're right. Like it has to be inviting because yeah, like
I'm very comfortable right now. Something has to tell me to go to the GameStop down the street, spend some gas, bring my controllers, and go to the GameStop down the street.
Like, because they have like the entire business was built around reselling games and reselling hardware and stuff, and like that's just not viable anymore because most people are going digital, myself included, and you can't resell a digital game, at least not yet. Like maybe
not yet.
And that's that's what Game Pass is about and all these subscription services. And that's really killing GameStop in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, what I used to do, I had a game, I played it for a couple weeks, months, whatever, and then I'm like, you know what? I want another game. So I bring the game that I'm not playing to GameStop and I get not full value for sure, right? But a good amount where I'm just bringing $5-10 with me to cover the difference. That now my old games are just covering tax. That's all it's doing now.
Right.
So why am I even spending?
So they really have to pivot away from that model entirely. Like the GameStop can't be a store that specializes in trade-ins and used games.
Trade-ins are done.
Basically.
I mean, of course they can offer the service, but like that can't be their business model. Like it's not going to work anymore. So whatever it is they're pivoting to, like I don't know. Like I thought Reggie was done with the video game world. Clearly he's not. He was done, I guess, with high level executive stuff at Nintendo, but he still has some fight in him. Like he's been going on podcasts, he's been doing like talks at schools and universities and stuff. The guy is still very much, very business minded. And for him to accept this position, I feel like he has some ideas. Like he probably has some stuff to do.
You can take the man out the gaming industry, but you can't take the gaming industry out the man.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm super excited to see what changes can happen because sure, GameStop has been pretty awful for some time now, but like it's a place that sells video games. Like I love that as an idea. Like make it good again.
Make GameStop good again.
make GameStop great again 2020. Okay, so all right, so let's try to take this just one small step forward.
Okay.
What could GameStop do for you? Because I know what they could do for me to keep me back in their doors.
Yeah.
What could GameStop do for you to be like, oh wait, they did this thing? All right, bet, let's go. Like, what would that thing be?
If I could go to GameStop and literally, like you were saying earlier, play anything that's available, but I don't have personal access to. Like maybe I would be some kind of how they have the pro member rewards thing? Like you pay a thing for the year. If I'm a member, I walk into the GameStop has everything. I'm like, oh, let me try out this VR game for a little bit. Let me try out this new title over here. Let me try out this, that, and the third. Because I'm a member. Similar to Xbox Game Pass, where you kind of just have access to a big library. GameStop is a little different because you can go in there and try out anything. Like anything.
Yeah.
Like that would draw someone like me who kind of needs to try out pretty much everything and don't have unlimited funds to do so.
Like I could definitely, I think that'll work because I can see me and my friends going down to GameStop, right? Hey, I got my pro card. I can go in all month. Mm-hmm. If my friend he doesn't have a pro card, but he has to pay like $5 today, cool, whatever. We both go in and we just start gaming on Mortal Kombat 11, right? Let's say my friend doesn't have it. Okay, let's try it out. We're playing Let's try out something else. We can spend a couple hours there because we're trying out all the different types of games. And then we say, hey, you know what? I really like that one. I want to take this one home.
Right.
I'm going to buy this one. You know what I mean?
And if you still want it to be digital, maybe they can be like, oh, well, buy the currency here or something.
Exactly.
Or you bought these things from GameStop. You have reward points that can then give you free purchases. Yeah. If I have points that just go towards a thing, maybe I'll spend money on other things that I like T-shirts or peripherals, and then that will get me a game for free. Like that would coerce me to keep coming into the store,
Yep. And especially nowadays when, well, I'm not gonna say nowadays, but there's a lot of folks that don't have all systems, right? A lot of folks who don't have PC, Switch, Xbox One, PS4,
Or
they don't
VR
have that.
devices.
Or VR devices,
Yeah, or VR.
right? If I can go in and just try that stuff out, it would encourage me to one either have work to get more systems, or really decide on which system I want if I had that kind of system and I had to make a choice, especially with this next gen coming out. If I can go in the store and say, I'm going to try this PS5 and I'm going to try this Series X and try different games on that, it'll really help people make decisions and appreciate all consoles, in my opinion.
So I love both of the answers that you guys gave. I'm going to attempt to combine them because what I want, I would love for GameStop to give me the level of convenience that the Xbox app on my phone gives me. If GameStop could notify me, hey, we've got this pre-order thing, we've got this sale, we've got this thing, and it just comes up on my phone. I tap whatever it is on my phone, and I'm already logged into my account. And you are talking about how to get it, like you wanted to buy a game digitally. Well, here we go. We have made a QR code for you to just simply scan. Just scan this, and boom, it'll be yours. Or like, just give me that convenience, because I want to go into an actual store to buy and see whatever it is that I want. That's kind of why I like Best Buy. It's like, I tap on this, I go get the thing, and it's mine. I don't have Amazon Prime, wait a day or whatever. I just get it.
Right, because you want it now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I want it now. So while I'm not necessarily a fan of GameStop, I do consider them to be a necessity, because I don't want to have to wait for delivery. I want to go and get it. So if I could just say, boom, here I am, swipe, there I am, swipe. Oh, you got my game for me? Boom, let's go. Or, hey, I want to go try this. Or like Blue said, the latest VR thing, or any of that kind of stuff. That would definitely make me, I would actually, dare I say, fall back in love with GameStop, because it would literally be the stop for games.
Gaming, exactly.
It would be that place.
It stopped being GameStop.
And
it did.
Now I get it. It's GameStop.
It stopped being GameStop.
But yet,
but I think that's the key. What you're saying right there is like all that bad blood that people have, that negative energy towards GameStop as a retailer, it's not set in stone. They can make changes. They can do things that can turn, the public sentiment around, like, very easily. Gamers are fickle. We keep saying this. Like, gamers don't have very long memories. Like, they will trade on you in a heartbeat. So, like, put some goodwill out into the world, make some positive changes that, help the consumer, and you will see an uptick in, patronage, as well as, like, public opinion, like, honestly. And I think, and Reggie is a good first step. Like, that man is well loved in the gaming community.
100%.
Yes. Make it happen. Hey, make it happen, Reggie. Make GameStop great again. 2020.
GameStop great again.
that hurts my soul.
GameStop great again.
Just combining anything in relation to that. But anyway, move on to our next topic. So this is very interesting news. 2K, the Blues' favorite publisher now, they're now going to be allowed to make NFL licensed games again. Like, the EA monopoly over NFL games has apparently been lifted.
Yeah,
it's finally hit the end of its contract. Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember what went on?
I do remember 2K kind of getting shut out and put to the back. And
let me just give a real quick history lesson.
Go ahead, give us a little synopsis.
I forget the exact year, but back in the day, Madden and 2K NFL went head to head. 2K was starting to review better than Madden, and then they hit them with a devastating blow by releasing their brand new football game for $20 alongside Madden's full-priced NFL game. The year after that, EA went straight to the NFL and said, we want exclusive rights. We'll pay you
stupid
You
about
give
the
us
money.
exclusive rights to make NFL games, and NFL, I guess, not really knowing any better, like, oh, I guess that's a good deal. Sign the contract, and from that point forward, no
16
one
years.
else was allowed to make an NFL game. It completely
16
killed 2K's NFL franchise, which was at the time considered to be better than Madden.
They did this for 16 years, bro.
16
That's
years.
petty.
There's some people that are not as old as how long they got finessed.
Right. Like, some people don't know that this was a thing that happened. Like, there used to be multiple. Do you guys remember Quarterback Club or NFL Game Day?
Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, y'all remember Blood Bowl? You know, the Warhammer 40K one?
NFL
No?
Blitz?
No.
Yeah, NFL Blitz was good.
Was there an NFL Street? Was that a thing? But I think that was also EA.
Yeah, there was. There
that was
an
EA.
NFL
That was
Street.
EA. That doesn't really
It was
count.
NFL Street.
They had like everything street. I was waiting for Tennis Street. You know what I mean? But it just didn't happen.
Work.
I don't know.
But basically, any other football game with the NFL license died that day, and
Yeah, no,
you
you're
just had Madden, and that's kind of where this whole
Yeah, it was hiding.
reiterative, yearly sports franchise thing kind of took over. Like, and it kind of killed the sports game industry for a lot of people. Not
There was no competition anymore.
yeah, there was no competition. Madden could do whatever it wanted. But those days are
Not anymore.
done. Like,
Those
are you
days
guys
are
excited for a
done,
2K
son.
football game?
I'm excited to see what it's like. Okay. So yes, because of what I'm seeing in 2K20.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
That's why I'm excited to see a football game from 2K.
What about you, gamer? You can play football. You're 6'5".
So actually, tiny little sidebar.
What
I
you
was
got?
actually offered a football scholarship in college just because I was so big, and I was like, no thank you, I don't want you to pay for people to hit me. I'm going
Yeah.
to do band instead.
There you go.
Hit the
I'm
drums,
like,
I mean.
I'm like, I'm good, no thank you. You can hit. I know I can hit. I don't want to.
I'm a pacifist.
But so the customization thing that Blue was talking about is cool. I have never particularly been into sports games unless they had some really wacky thing like Rocket League, which is soccer with cars, basically.
It's fun.
I
It's
did
so
not
So-
condone that as a sports game.
So
make it real.
it's nice. It's not my cup of tea, but I'm not going to be mad at EA getting punched in the knee.
True.
I'm not gonna be mad about that. People who listen to my podcast know I like. Let me see. I like EA just as much as Jim Sterling likes Ubisoft.
I guess that's not much. I'm not familiar with Jim Sterling's stance on Ubisoft specifically.
He's not a fan.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
not in the slightest. It's been, a lot of people got a lot of hate on Ubisoft. Now, okay, just real quick.
Oh dear.
My friend was talking about, and we're gonna get into it a little bit more. E3 getting canceled. He said there's not gonna be no Just Dance, and I was like, bro, that's a devastating blow, because Just Dance has brought in so many non-gamers into the gaming community. That's bad when you don't
In a
have
way,
somebody.
yeah.
You got Beat Saber and the like as well. So I
But
would,
like 3 people play.
I would agree. And there is always a very important factor of the definition of a gamer is being broadly defined. Before video gamers were just like, okay, these are these reject people and they only play NES. To nowadays, the statement that I used to hear when I was little, not from my parents, but from other people, it's like, what are you doing? You won't make any money playing those video games. Now that's completely different. And a video gamer just doesn't mean, someone who plays it very well. It doesn't just mean a streamer or anything like that. So to lose the doors that would bring in those people who would never, ever think of themselves as video gamers, I'm not a fan, and I said this before, but inclusion really does matter. For people to be like, oh wow, I didn't think I would be into this at all. Oh, okay, sure. Like, all right, cool. Let's give it a shot. And then after that, it's like, oh, so this is what they're all talking about, sort of thing. So let's get some variety. Let's mix it up a little bit.
Right. I'm still trying to convince my folks that video games are serious. They just don't.
Yeah, I think my parents have stopped trying to get me to do anything else. Like, they get that's what it's gonna be for me. They don't get it, but they're like, all right, you seem to know what you're doing.
I would hope so.
We'll talk about this on another podcast. Another episode, we're gonna talk about how our parents and our family feels about gaming.
Oh boy, we're
gonna get into that.
But I will say I am very excited for this. Like, I'm not a big sports fan either, not anymore anyway. I did used to play Madden a ton. I was never big in playing 2K, but I did play a bunch of other like random NFL licensed games.
Yeah.
And I've said it once and I'll say it again. Competition between companies is always good for the consumer. Like,
100%.
There was no reason why this ever should have been a thing in the first place. EA having exclusive rights to NFL. It was a really crappy and underhanded thing to do. And not to say that the NFL is like some kind of not to say the NFL is some kind of like, unassuming, like innocent child that was taken advantage of. But EA kind of took advantage of their lack of knowledge about games specifically. Because, like, why would you limit yourself in that way? Like, they could have sold their license to all manner of companies who wanted to make games. Instead, they gave it to EA because EA told them right here, right now, give it this exclusive contract, we'll give you a ton of money.
Yo, I would love to be a fly on the wall at all those meetings when they were just trying to convince them, like, look, this is the way you want to go. Don't worry about them 2K dudes. Right here is where you want it. Like, I just want to see how.
Right, how did they go about even setting that up? Because, like, that's crazy to me.
How much money did the NFL get for that? That sounds like a stupid amount of money.
It's insane. So I really wonder, like, EA will now be forced, and not to say, because the devs on Madden do remarkable work. Like, that game does improve every single year. It's a fantastic simulation experience, from what I can tell. But
they've held the monopoly on it, so it's
right.
Not,
it's like, who do you have to compete against? Really, like, you really get to see what they're made of when there's actual competition knocking on your door. And to be honest, 2K may take some time to get their series up off the ground. Like.
Yeah,
they probably won't come out swinging super hard. Like, we've seen how difficult it's been for, on the reverse side, EA to get their NBA Live game back in working order after taking a hiatus on it. Like, they still haven't really released a decent one for some time now, while 2K is being dominant on the basketball side. So, yeah, spread those forces out a little bit, and both sides try and become competitive again. Like, I want to see it. I'd be excited for that.
For sure.
So that's going to do it for the 2K talk.
Yeah.
Our last topic for the day is a big one.
Yeah.
And we've been mentioning it all podcast anyway. The coronavirus has affected not just the lives of Americans, but everyone on this planet right now is dealing with it. And essentially everything under the sun is being canceled left and right. The latest victim is the E3 convention for 2020.
Yeah,
it's been completely canceled,
and it's not the ESA's fault that it was canceled. So it's hard to tell them that there's a good chance I'm not going to be watching your stuff next year.
Here's tough, man. Here's the thing. E3 was already in trouble.
Yes.
Right? This year was probably going to be a bright spot because last year a lot of the companies really didn't have, super exciting news. One of them, Sony specifically, completely skipped it. Like, not just skipped the show. Like, they just had nothing to say. So there was just no news during a time period when there's supposed to be news. Like, they didn't feel enough pressure to participate in it.
Anything.
Right. So this year, new consoles are coming out. We're expecting, big showings from Microsoft, from a lot of devs who are trying to get you excited for brand new games on new consoles and such. And then this virus sweeps across the country, and it's just completely unsafe to gather that many people into one place. So they had to shut it down. We're not going to do this year. Everyone's going to go back home, and they have news. Those consoles are still sitting in, those factories ready to be sold at some point later in this year, maybe next year if it gets really bad. They're going to have to tell us something about them. They're going to do it from home. They don't need the ESA to do this. They don't need an E3 convention to do
that they're going to do it from home.
Right. They've already said so. They're going to do a digital event. Nintendo was already doing a digital event. Sony, we still don't know. Sony has not said anything to anyone about anything.
So when these major companies realize that they can put out all this news, and I'm sure they've realized it before, but when they put out all this news and all their new releases and all the cool stuff coming up for less than a third of the price that they were going to do it before, what's going to make them say, okay, let's go to Los Angeles, California next year, spend all this money to gather this spot, be crowded with all these people, and give them a show? What's going to make them do that after they spend significantly less this year and get out the same amount of news and probably receive the same, if not more, hype?
Tradition?
Oh, tradition is just habits of dead people. That's the way I call it. Like,
here's something else to think about as well. So you know how Netflix kind of dominated streaming, and then Disney was like, "Oh, so we can do this ourselves too? Bet we're gonna take all of our stuff and we're gonna go do it over here." Yeah. And then people went over there, and just like you had huge cable companies, and now it's like, okay, we're gonna have everyone stream in one place, and then all those people in that one place was like, wait a minute, can't we do this too? Yeah, we can do this too. Yeah, we won't be here. Everybody who likes our stuff, go over there. Everyone who likes those people's stuff, go over there. I mean, I understand tradition. I understand the convenience of having everyone in one huge spot, and you get to have it on a nice, big, huge stage. But
is it worth it anymore?
Or in how much control do I have versus doing it myself? Now, like, what is going to be the significant difference in news coverage versus me doing it on my own or going to this place where everybody else is doing it? Because I could send out links and do everything like that on my own. It'll be completely fine. I can choose what platform I do it, all that sort of stuff.
I really like the analogy you just brought up with the cable companies versus the streaming services. Yeah, that makes so much sense, because in this instance, the ESA was essentially collecting all the channels into one cable service, which was the E3 convention, right? But the difference is when all these companies break out to do their own thing, they're not charging us.
They're not
to watch all these separate things. The only thing they need to be cognizant of is when the other big hitters are doing their thing, so they can try to stay out of their way.
Exactly. It's like, oh, hey, it will be a silent agreement where it's like, oh, hey, what day you're doing this? Because we're going to be on the 15th. Oh, well, I'm doing mine on the 14th. Hey, what about you? Can you do yours on the 13th? Bet. All right. So we got the 10th, we got the 13th, and we got the 15th. All right, cool. You guys go. And that's it.
What would you need any organization? Because the ESA has said that they were looking to partner up with devs and do some sort of digital event. But it's like, why would they need the ESA? Microsoft said that they were going to do a digital event. It had nothing to do with the ESA. They didn't say, oh, we're going to work with... No, they said we're going to do a digital event, period. Why would you need them?
This might be too big of a statement. Is the ESA obsolete at this point?
I wouldn't go that far.
That's why I'm like, it might be a little too big, but I don't see what they're going to be doing for us in the future.
I mean, in terms of this trade show, most definitely.
Okay.
Because the other stuff the ESA does, if you're unaware, they're essentially lobbyists. They're a kind of a political entity for the games industry. Whoever pays them dues, they fight, copyright infringement cases. They battle against them when the government tries to enact legislation about this, that, and the third. The ESA was formed and created, and they also house the ratings board, the ESRB. So they self-regulate themselves in that way. So that's kind of their purpose.
Okay, so
their main purpose.
So as far as a public display, as far as E3, I don't think E3 needs to happen.
Yeah, like
anymore.
I mean, in the past, it served as kind of a way to show off what we're doing here. Like look at these game devs that you don't really pay attention to. Look at these gamers or these media outlets who cover this stuff that you don't really pay attention to. Look at what it's becoming. Look at how big it is. Look, it's important. Pay attention to us, everybody else, please. That's what E3 was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. And now it is, and now like even a small indie developer, there's places you can go to be seen. There are places you can go, or sometimes someone could just directly just up and contact you and say, hey, I know that you do this. I've seen this. Here's my like the press kit for this. Let me know if you're interested. Like the internet has made the connection between these things so small where a big entity like that is not as necessary. And I think this falls back to a previous discussion that we had where we had talked about what is a console.
Yeah.
I think the ESA might have to readjust perhaps its purpose, because what it used to do before is not completely necessary anymore.
As far as the trade show goes.
Right. Yeah. Like you fight for video game rights and all that, but like as far as E3, you need to evolve past this, because
like way past it, because like they're slowly trying. And I wrote
too slow.
I wrote an opinion piece about the fact that this cancellation may have essentially killed E3
on
entirely.
Escapist, right?
Yeah, so check that out on Escapist magazine. This was their last chance. Like, this was their last chance.
This is exactly what we were saying last week. This was their last chance. You know, last week they had to say, we're going to go with it.
Right.
Because
like, they had no other option.
There's no other option.
Like, they needed to make this E3 matter.
They just got pushed into
and it's
corner.
like, this was their best chance to do so with the excitement over new consoles. Like, they could have really reinvigorated the energy around the trade show. People would have been excited to see another one after coming off of a big one that had new consoles and new games and blah, blah, blah. None of that exists right now. All the other companies have to set out on their own. And they may find, like Nintendo did, that they like it better. So what's to keep them from staying away the next year?
I'm not gonna lie. In the midst of all this, I'm concerned about how Sony is gonna put out their information. Now this isn't completely related, but the fact is they chose to not do E3.
Yeah, they were already not going to be involved.
They're already not going to do it, right? So, if anything, that's kind of just a flag for me, saying that they don't really mess with that display at all anyway. They're saying that's not even worth it for them. So, I think that's... It's either it's not even worth it or we got nothing to show. But it's hard for me to think that Sony has nothing to show with, this new generation of stuff coming out. It's hard for me to believe that.
Like, there's stuff that they have under wraps. The question is, why are they being this quiet? Like,
is the anticipation part of the strategy? We don't like it, but it might work.
It gets confusing.
So...
Because at this point, like, they weren't gonna be at E3 anyway. So their options are to either do their own digital event, like Nintendo did, like Microsoft is now being forced to do because they were going to do a stage show, like usual, or do something completely left field that has the possibility of alienating or kind of revolutionizing the way you handle this kind of thing. So this could either be really big in terms of what they have planned, or like just a massive stumble. Like, there's no way to know because Sony has said jack all.
This could easily be a dumpster fire as well as it could be a masterpiece. So just being in the dark about any of the news is really unsettling.
Right, and especially at a time when everyone is unsettled because it feels like the world's ending.
It really does. There's crazy things happening left and freaking right. Like, coronavirus. Wash your hands, stay inside, be safe.
Well, that can do it for our topics. But speaking about the world ending, Snake 360 has another question in our mailbag. This one is a doozy, to say the least.
Yeah, we want
Gamer, you wanted to read this one for us?
All right. You have passed on to the afterlife, which happens to be the world of Pokemon. You can only exist in this world as one of 3 Pokemon: Jigglypuff, Meowth, Sword and Shield version, or Psyduck. Who do you choose? Also, you cannot evolve, but you are able to level up and acquire any abilities that said Pokemon would naturally learn.
So he said Jigglypuff, Meowth, or
Psyduck.
But the Sword and Shield version of Meowth, so like the real scruffy looking one.
The scruffy looking one.
Galarian.
Okay. Personally, if I have an opportunity to be a cat, I think I will, because all the time, and in general, people like them. You know, I know it's the scruffier looking one, but people like scruffy cats. You know,
Yeah, people like all cats, to be honest.
Yeah, people like all kinds of cats, and Meowths are known for chasing money too. I'm not mad at that. So let me just chill. I don't have to evolve. I just gotta live and survive and be happy. So I'm down.
I'm kind of with you on this one. Like, I feel like you get tempted by the powers of a Pokemon, but then it's like, well, these specific Pokemon don't really have much in the way of powers except maybe Psyduck.
Now Psyduck, I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, maybe I can like read people's minds and and I'm like, but why would I want to do all that?
But he also has a headache all the time.
All the time, a constant migraine.
So honestly, I would also pick Meowth.
I don't know how that goes.
I would pick Meowth, and also, we know that Meowth from the Pokemon anime learned human language. So
it's very possible.
If I passed on, so it is me that's in this Pokemon, why wouldn't I also be able to speak a human language? You know what I mean?
Now you get into the intricacies of reincarnation and blah blah blah.
So I would also pick Scruffy Meowth.
Scruffy Meowth? Okay. What you got, Gamer?
So both of you chose Meowth?
Yes. Yeah.
I have to go Psyduck. I have to go, but here's the reason why I chose Psyduck. Because I know so much about Pokemon and abilities and things like that. So one of the abilities that Psyduck has is called Cloud 9, where essentially I control the weather. Oh, look, it's raining. No, it's not. Oh, look, it's really, really sunny out. No, it's not. The weather effects are just negated. And the other ability that he have is called Swift Swim, where I'm just faster in the rain. So yes, I will deal with the headaches, but I still have psychic powers. Like headache or not, I'm still a psychic, and I still level up and get stronger, even though I am I can't evolve into Golduck. And
right?
Though this might be a little cheating, what I don't see is I can't have an item. So if I have an Eviolite on a Pokemon that can't evolve, then I will just be stronger. So there's a lot of little things to take into that, but basically, yes, I will be Psyduck. I will be controlling the weather, and controlling the weather is good for farmers. I can speak a human language. I can negotiate things. Boom, I'm rich. I'm a rich duck.
So, first of all, yeah, that definitely sounds like a weird premise to DuckTales. Second of all, every time we get on this podcast, every time we talk about Pokemon, I lean more and more in Jeff's favor that you should have known. Really? Just wrote this.
Wow.
You just keep revealing your hand that you know all the rules about Pokemon, though.
I'm never gonna say that Jeff specified the rules. I'm not.
We know he did not.
I'm not gonna say that.
But the way Jeff assumed you knew the rules,
I think you did.
I feel like he was kind of justified in assuming that.
But again, okay, no, we can't, guys.
We're not gonna get back into it. I'll just.
I won that legitimately. We know we did. We know I did.
Yo, your defense attorney got paid. I'll tell you that. All right.
Thank you.
It's like OJ after
Phoenix
the trial. It's like,
over
hey,
you know he did it.
Chill with the OJ thing. We all thought about that, but we didn't say it.
I will say this, and I wasn't thinking about this earlier when I first read this question, but if we pass on to the world of Pokemon and our Pokemon, doesn't that mean that there are actual humans? Like, it's not like a heaven for just a bunch of human-turned Pokemon. It's just we're other people's Pokemon, right? So, like, do we live in Pokeballs, and, like, do we have to take orders from, like, some 10-year-old kid from Pallet Town?
It just tells me to scratch, like, a freaking any monster.
Because he said afterlife. He didn't say heaven. This could actually be hell. Where you just live a subservient life as a Pokemon.
Servitude.
I mean, so did you guys? I don't know if you've guys seen it, but on Facebook, there's this like 3D animation of a Charmander, Squirtle, and a Charmander, and they are it's like Bulbasaur, and Charmander is the leader, and they actually fight against the rules of Pokemon. Like, well, why do you have to have a trainer? It's like, no, you're supposed to take turns. Screw that. Like,
I've seen that. And Charmander was leading the squad for a bit, and he was trying to push Bulbasaur around, and Squirtle wasn't having it. Yeah, no, it's actually really funny, but pretty well done.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm just like, why couldn't it be like that? I mean, we are Pokemon. There's nothing saying that we would have to follow those rules. Those rules are set by the trainers and everything like that. Like,
so you're saying we would have to say again?
That makes me feel weird about playing the game now. I feel like we're like some kind of colonizers and we just moving in. And
that's been here from the beginning. Like,
it ain't the first time someone's made that statement.
This is like dogfighting. Like, it's always been
like is. Like, if it's not the rules of society, it's even worse. Like, if that's not the rules of the world, excuse me, and it's just society, that's even worse than just what we know it is right now.
Well, I mean, we get into we can get into even a further gray area. Have you guys seen Detective Pikachu?
Yes.
And near the end, what Mewtwo wanted to do was everyone to be their best selves. So his version of, like, the villain's version of everyone being at their best selves was for everyone to be Pokemon.
Right. Because he thought that Pokemon were just a superior life form to humans.
Right.
So just put your human brain in a Pokemon, problem solved.
Right. So, I mean, it could be that too, because, not everyone came a random Pokemon. They became their Pokemon. Like, whatever they had a partner with. Yeah. So, I mean, we could go on and on about the Pokemon afterlife. So thank you, Snicks, for that question.
Most definitely.
Oh my goodness.
But with that,
yeah,
we've reached the end of our podcast. And just like Snicks360 did, please do not hesitate. Send us questions. You can email them to bbetgaming@gmail.com. Yeah. Blue, where can people find you on the internet?
It's your boy, Blue Bones BLUB0NES. You can find me with that same handle on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram with that. And you can find Blue Bones XB, Wakanda Forever, as an Xbox. For my Xbox. Oh, as I said that, my Xbox with the Kinect just turned on. So that's wonderful. Yes, Xbox, you can find me there. So definitely check out the YouTube. You know what I'm saying? BBETGaming. Check out our mixer team so you can see all four of us right there. Just search Teams BBET Gaming. I think we put the gaming at the end of that. BBET. You know what it is.
Yeah.
And we're also on Twitch. Twitch is you know what? I'm liking Twitch more than I would have expected. I'm not saying it's amazing yet, but I like it more than I would expected.
I mean, it's a popular platform, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm talking about the response rate and stuff like that, and, the interface. But we're definitely getting love on the Twitch channel, and we appreciate that. You guys keep coming in. Click that follow button, you know what I'm saying? It help your boys get bigger and better and serve you with more quality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gamer, where can people find you if they're looking for you on the internet?
If people are looking for me, you can first always go to my website, startbuttonreview.com. I have my podcast, which is SBR Reports with 2 R, so SBR, then the word reports. On Facebook, facebook.com/startbuttonreview, and on Twitter, and on Mixer, and on Xbox. I am SBR MRGAMER.
That's what's up. You guys can find me on pretty much all social media at Sigma Gears 9. You can find me on Facebook at Sigma and Sun. You can find my 3-minute reviews, as well as the brand new opinion piece that I wrote, the first one that I've done for Escapist Magazine, on escapistmagazine.com, as well as their YouTube channel for the videos. Once again, send us emails to bbetgaming@gmail.com. I want to thank everyone for listening, everyone for watching. I want to thank my co-hosts Blue and Gamer, as well as Jeff, who's not here today, but he will be back in the future. That's going to do it for episode 38. Peace.
Deuces.